Hi there, welcome back to World Pass, how to easily travel the world for business and pleasure by removing cultural and language barriers. My name is Therese Lafleche, and today I'm happy to introduce you to Rachel Pauling. Rachel is Director of Efficient Language Coaching, certified and accredited Neurolanguage Coach, and creator of Neurolanguage Coaching. Rachel founded Efficient Language Coaching in 2008 and created the method Neurolanguage Coaching, owning the registered trademark. Rachel started teaching English as a foreign language to adults over 30 years ago. After obtaining a BA, honors in law and Spanish, she did a master's in human rights and democratization. She continued with her studies and qualified as a UK lawyer in 2003. However, instead of pursuing a career as a lawyer, she decided to take her combined experience with teaching and specialization in business, English, and her legal knowledge to coach top executives across Europe. So hi, Rachel. Thank you for taking the time to be here.
Hi, Therese. Thank you for inviting me.
So let's jump right in. And can you tell us a little bit, what is neurolanguage coaching?
Well, you know, we are in, I think, a new trend. And the trend is this language coaching that is slowly over the last 15 years started to develop. And a lot of language coaching is very much about changing the way that we deliver as teachers or trainers to adopt a coaching approach, so non-directive, really coming into the goal setting, the action setting, getting clients focused on what they want to achieve. And we take that one step further by adding the dimension of the neuroscience. So really understanding from the neuroscience what we now know about the brain, how the brain reacts, how the brain learns, and really how the emotional brain can even hinder and obstruct learning. And we put that together, so we combine the neuroscientific principles with the coaching principles, and in fact the ICF, the International Coach Federation, ethics, guidelines and structure. And we put that together into a very distinct way of delivering language learning so that we get a potentially faster effect. The learner actually is a happier learner, and they really do learn, which is something, you know, there are so many people across the world who have been learning languages for years and years and years and are extremely frustrated because they haven't had the progress that they desire and they require, because nowadays so many people need languages. Yeah. And with this method and approach, people are suddenly finding that, yes, they're having those breakthroughs.
Mm-hmm. So how exactly did you come about this whole method? Because it's something that's unheard of.
Well, it's, I would say it's been a very gradual process. And when I first arrived in Germany in the year 2000, I actually arrived at a school to do language training and specialized language training, especially for legal English. And this particular school said that they were doing language coaching back in the year 2000.
Okay.
And it was a wonderful Scottish guy called Jim. And Jim had actually done some coaching training, so he was then into this sort of, how do we combine? One of the major questions for me, though, back then was, well, what is the difference between language coaching and language teaching? Mm-hmm. And I was told, well, you know, follow the client, do what the client wants, see what they need, and that's language coaching. So in a very primitive sense, it was find out what the client says that they want. But for me, that wasn't enough. That was sort of that question of, okay, well, with some clients, I'm a language teacher, and with some clients, I'm a language coach, and there's a different price for both. But how do I justify the difference when I'm the same person going in each time? So what is it that I can do that's going to be different? And over the years then, I myself went through coaching training. So I became a qualified life coach, and I'm an ACC with the ICF. And I did other coaching courses as well, a diploma in coaching as well. And then I got very interested in the brain-based coaching. So following the, let's say, the method and approach of David Rock. And then going further with the research of the neuroscience and the brain-based effect into the neuroscience of learning and the emotional intelligence side of, what's happening to the brain. And little by little that then came together. And in 2012, I remember sitting down and writing the manual for the whole method and approach. And in 2012, that's when I piloted the first course for teachers in Düsseldorf in Germany with my team. And little by little, that's how it then developed and crystallized into something that is definitely a clear method and approach.
Mm-hmm. So you just sat down, started writing, developing. How long did that take you?
I clearly remember it was Easter 2012, and I sat down in the garden. It was a beautiful time with the weather, so it was, I think, the only Easter in Germany that we actually had solid sunshine for 7 days. Okay. And I sat in the garden for 5 days and wrote it. I forced myself from morning till evening, literally, to just sit there and write it. So the skeleton was done in those first 5 days, and then afterwards the retouching and reviewing, and little by little over the years. I think 3 years later, so in 2015, I sat down again, and my manual from 150 pages then developed into a manual of 225 pages. So, over the years, it's just expanded and crystallized even more. Mm-hmm. So I've really developed and gone through that evolution as well to get where it is now.
Okay. And there's many methods out there for learning. So how exactly does this help learn languages?
One of the key questions for the language learner is always, how are we absorbing the language? How are we receiving the language? And how is the brain reacting? I would say that all of us have gone through language learning pain. And it could be one of the most painful learning processes, because we all go through shame, embarrassment, frustration. So there's a lot of negative emotions that potentially can affect the whole limbic system of the brain. Mm-hmm. If we start to go into a fight or flight, we start shutting down. Literally, physically, when we do go into that fight or flight reaction, the blood is pumping into the arms and legs so we can run away or fight. And that means that the brain is actually literally becoming void of all resources that we need for the rational thinking process and the learning process. So if we have a learner who is in a fight or flight, or really in that heightened negative emotion state, they're not going to learn. So as a coach, we have to understand, firstly, how to get our learner into the right frame of mind, positive mindset. And then we have to really find out, well, how does this person learn? Because everybody's different. Mm-hmm. And then really map out their learning roadmap. A lot of language learners are very eclectic as well. We don't just have an A1 who is a perfect A1 with all those ticks in the box of yes, they do everything in the A1. We may have a B2 who actually is, with elements of problems from the A2 level. Maybe they have some knowledge of C1 things that they don't realize. So it's really finding out from each individual, where are they with the language? Mm-hmm. And how can we get them onto the right path? Mm-hmm. And sorry, just to add that I think one of the major problems is that a lot of people really find the difficulty to speak the language. Yeah. And getting people to overcome those barriers, getting them to speak, is the major challenge, I think, for all of us as language trainers and educators.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's getting that self-esteem and not being afraid of making the mistakes and the embarrassment.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So now you coach for languages, so you help teach people languages, but you also teach teachers.
Yes.
Others become coaches.
Yes.
So who becomes a neurolanguage coach?
Well, it's quite interesting actually, because right back in 2015, we did a study on the profile of people approaching us to become neurolanguage coaches. And interestingly, we found that most of them are extremely experienced language teachers who have really discovered that they are doing it differently. Mm-hmm. And I do think there is this phenomenon worldwide that a lot of language teachers are coming into this emotional intelligence, they're coming into this empathy, and they're coming into wanting something that goes beyond the traditional ways of teaching languages. Mm-hmm. And so they're doing the course and they're finding, firstly, that they consolidate what they're already doing. They confirm that, yes, they are doing something different. And then they actually know how to go beyond and enhance what they're doing to get even better effects. And a lot of them are sort of middle-aged and settled in life and wanting now to move into that feeling of giving back and really giving into the world. So wonderful profile of people that are actually becoming neurolanguage coaches worldwide.
Okay. And how long does it normally take to become a coach?
Well, the first course that we offer is actually a 36-hour course, which we either do in sessions of 2 hours over a period of 5 or 6 weeks, or we do an intensive face-to-face, which is a 3-day intensive, and then we have onlines prior and onlines post. The course is accredited by the International Coach Federation. It's one of the only courses worldwide to have those coaching credits. And those coaching credits correspond to the 36 hours that the people do. We then have an advanced course, which then goes deeper into the neurolanguage coaching. And really, the people who have done the advanced neurolanguage course, you notice the difference. You notice that they really come into that skin of advanced coach. And that course carries 24 credits. And now in January, we're starting a new course, which is the 3rd level, to become a professional neurolanguage coach, mm-hmm. Which is going to take them to an even greater level, including language strategy, for companies, language culture, neuro culture added into that aspect of language learning, and really going deeper into the neuroscientific side as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's really like a world onto its own.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we are, in effect, we're creating a community of neurolanguage coaches worldwide. We've just in December launched our platform, the community platform, which is the www.neurolanguagecoach.com. Oh, sorry, neurolanguagecoachnetwork.com.
Okay.
And there are now about 250 neurolanguage coaches worldwide.
Wow. Okay.
So little by little, yes, it is becoming something that's quite a phenomenon. We are creating that community. And, you know, my real desire is that as a network and community, we are helping each other to then help others with language learning and mm-hmm. really get people into language, because we need it. We need to globalize and reflect that globalization with our linguistic abilities.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, we touched upon the different levels for those that want to become coaches, but for the learners, what can they expect? Where do they go to find a coach?
Well, they can actually come onto the Language Coach Network. So, as I said, www.neurolanguagecoachnetwork.com. And there they can see the map of the world and they can see where the coaches are located. There is a directory there where they can type in the country or the location and then see who is their nearest neurolanguage coach. And then they can contact with pleasure directly to those coaches and get information from them. What we actually do, we normally offer a first session free of charge for our learner. And in that first session, we take them through how the process is going to be. We explain to them what they can expect. We then go through a diagnostics to see where they are exactly with the language. And then we get our learner to really map out their plan, their goals, their actions, according to what they want, where they want to get to, and what they're going to need to get there. And then it's about really road mapping out the whole process over a period of time.
Okay. Now, one last question for you, because you also have a coaching conference. So coming up, there's going to be the Neurolanguage Coaching Conference 2018, which is in Edinburgh.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that also?
Yes, and Therese, I have to say I'm so excited about this conference. We did the first conference last year in Mainz in Germany, and this one will be in Edinburgh. And we will start on the 2nd of May with a champagne reception in the evening. And then the 2 days, the 3rd and the 4th of May, will be absolutely intensively full of amazing speakers.
Yeah, you
and
have pretty high profile guest speakers that attend too.
Absolutely. And, you know, the philosophy of the conference is actually beyond language. So it really is, how can we enhance the learning process, no matter what that learning process is, whether it's language or any topic. And even if it's private teacher, public teacher, school teacher, university teacher, even human resource trainer and developer, you know. And the question is, how can we introduce the neuroscientific principles, emotional intelligence, practical intelligence? Even we look at neurofeedback. So we have somebody coming to speak about neurofeedback and what that is giving us now in education nowadays. We have some amazing guest speakers coming over from Australia.
Okay.
Lee Campbell is a personal trainer who actually deals with practical intelligence. And he was working for some years with Andrew Short. Andrew has cerebral palsy, and they have really proven over a period of 5 years that neuroplasticity really can happen. So demonstrating how Andrew has succeeded and changed and is now able to do so many more things. So, you know, he really is more mobile, more in control of his own life. And they are coming to talk about that journey, and Lee will be talking about practical intelligence as well. So very excited to have some people coming over from Australia.
I can imagine.
And we have people from Scotland as well. We have the real David Cameron is speaking. He's quite a key educationalist, very keen on changing delivery of education and really making an impact already in England with his ideas and his talks. We have also Luca Lampariello, who is a polyglot. And Luca will be sharing with us his experience of, you know, learning languages and how to really change language learning.
Because he does it too with such a grace and ease. It's
absolutely, absolutely, yes. No, I can't wait to really meet Luca and speak with him. And so yes, the whole conference is very, very exciting.
And so, as a thank you for anybody that wants to attend as well, you're offering a promotion. So do you want to tell them a little bit about that also?
Yes, absolutely, yes. So we will be offering promotional discounts of 15% from the normal price. And all they have to do is write the promo code, which will be your name, Therese. They have to spell it right, so they have to make sure that they know how to spell your name.
So that'll be an email attached with the interview?
Yes, absolutely. And then they will be eligible for the discount, yes. Yeah.
Okay. And what can they really take with them after attending this conference? What will they have learned? What will they experience?
Well, the experience honestly will be phenomenal, because unlike other conferences, we don't do breakouts, we don't do different sessions that are parallel. So the whole group stays together for the whole 2.5 days. And what we experienced last year was that the bonding and the networking was amazing. People really came together, really shared the whole of the conference together. And from each speaker, they're going to take different things. So there are going to be talks about neuroscience, talks about coaching, talks about emotional intelligence, practical intelligence, neurolanguage, also conversational intelligence. We've also got somebody, Russell Dalgleish, is talking about business and education and how do they mix. So there are going to be so many different aspects that people can take away. We've also got the Goldie Hawn Foundation speaking, Mind Up. They are already teaching teachers with neuroscience worldwide. So there are going to be a lot of takeaways from this conference. It's going to be phenomenal. Absolutely. And of course, Edinburgh, you know, the magic of Edinburgh. And on the Thursday night, the real Scottish dinner with bagpipes and kilts. And I mean, it's just going to be phenomenal, magical.
Yeah, definitely. An experience on many different levels.
Yes, and hope to see you there too.
I would love to. I would love to, absolutely.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
Okay.
no, very excited.
Perfect. Well, I hope everybody has gotten a lot and is anxious to learn more about different cultures and languages. And is there anything else that you are currently working on? I mean, you've already mentioned quite a few things, but anything else just around the corner that you would like to share?
Well, you know, I'm constantly thinking how to help teachers in what we're doing with language. And today, in fact, I'm delivering a brain-friendly grammar workshop for teachers worldwide. I do think a lot of teachers are frightened of grammar and delivering certain aspects of grammar. So what I'm thinking and working on at the moment is actually creating something that will be a guideline for teachers to then come more easily into grammar from a brain-friendly perspective, and also to deliver grammar without the books and from a brain-friendly perspective. And in fact, there is a book available, and again, we'll be giving people from today who are listening a link to my brain-friendly grammar book, just for them to have an idea of how to logically group and expose, visualize grammar in a much more imaginative and workable way that's more brain-friendly.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. So all kinds of goodies for both learners and teachers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And these are goodies for learners as well. This book is very much a perfect guide for learners. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's nice talking to you as always. It's always
the same. Pleasure. Yes. I always enjoy when we connect and we get together. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for all the offers that you're willing to share with everybody. And then for everybody listening, we'll come back tomorrow because there's more about cultures and travel and languages.
Thank you, Therese. Bye.
Bye.